guys, this is my first ever YouTube video. I have a Scion TC 2012 and I am rebuilding the input shaft, all of the gears. This is the old one. It was banged up pretty bad. As you can see where the shim piece sit right in here, this one don't have it. That's how bad it was beaten, you know. I'm also changing 4th, 5th, and 6th gear on the input shaft because the teeth here were beat bad. I bought the car like this off a car, what it is? Copart, right. I bought it off a Copart and she had some really bad gears. As you can see here, I didn't order my gears. This is 6th gear, this is 5th synchro, this is 4th gear, this is 4th gear synchro. I want to change all of that. This is the new input shaft I ordered. I should have kept the number. This is the newest one. They changed the old one. The last one, the old one ended in, I think, 2070, but the new one ended up in 2071. Probably see if I could find that some other time. But yeah, now I just put this on. This is the front bearing, the input shaft. I just put this on. A lot of people say, you know, it's best to get it pressed in and pressed out. I didn't do that. What I did was I had a piece of wood, another piece of wood, which would be my table, and I actually put it on top of here just to be safe. And I took the wood, kind of caught with one hand, guys. I took the wood and I hammered it down from on top of that, down here, once I made sure it was centered. So for this video, I'm gonna put all of the other gears in without using a press. I'm gonna hammer it all in, and since it's only me one recording, I'll just show you what I'm gonna do and then pause it. Then you would see where I put the new gear on. Okay, I'm gonna put 3rd gear on now. 3rd gear have some bearings on the inside of it, just like so. Probably should clean that up a little, but I'll just show you all how it is and then I'll clean it up. So what you're going to do is you're going to stand the input shaft up like that. Then you're going to take 3rd gear and put it on from the top here, and it'll drop all the way down here. What hooks onto this is the hubs, which would be that right there, and the one to the bottom. That one to the bottom would sit here. The one to the top would sit up here. So it'll be 3rd, a hub, 4th, 5th, another hub, and then 6th with the synchros. But I'll show all of that in this video. One quick note, what I showed you all about the bearings, you'd have to take it out of the gear and put it in there. Like, hold on. They just sit right on just like that, see? Just take it off, put that half on one side, and take that half, and just put it on just like that, okay? Just like so. And then you put the 3rd gear facing down. This side faces up. You put the gear, you lift it up, put it right over here, and it goes right over that bearing right there. Guys, this is how 3rd gear will look. Now, you put the synchro on top of this. That's the synchro there, and it goes on just the same way. Lift it up, put it in, and it sit right on top of 3rd gear. Let me try to do that now. Right, so it goes on just like that. Is it here? Put it just like that. Also, what I forgot to mention was you want to put oil, gear oil, or whatever oil you're going to use in the gearbox on the parts, like the bearing. I put gear oil on that. I'm gonna put some gear oil around here with a synchro set. So you want everything to be nice and lubricated, right? So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna put the hub on. Okay, now that I got the synchro on, nice and oiled up, you wanna take this is the hub. This is gonna sit here, right above this synchro. You see how there's a groove here, and then another groove there, and another groove there. There's only 3 grooves. You see the space in the hub? They sit just like that on this, in the grooves. Now, there is a side up and a side down, just the way this is set up. Hold on, let me see if I can show you. This side here would be facing 4th gear. And this side here would be facing 3rd gear. As you can see, there's a little difference, you know. One side have a higher lip, and this lip piece right here is where it sit in 3rd gear. I'll put it on and show you guys. It's gonna sit down like that. Now this is the part where I would have to get the wood and hammer it side by side, like hammer that side down, this side down, after it line up with the groove, with the splines. With that, after it line up with that, I'm gonna hammer it down until it goes all the way down. You want to make sure whilst hammering it down that it's really aligned. This could still spin, 3rd gear could spin. So you could just make sure it stays aligned so that you don't damage anything. I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna get back to you guys. All right, after hammering it in, that's how it's supposed to be. Now after putting this on, make sure I put gear oil around the grooves on the inside of it. After putting this in, you want to put the snap ring. I have a new one. That's the old one, but you want to put a new snap ring. Once you take it off, you want to put a new snap ring on, especially how mine's all bent up. You want to put it in right in there, in the same groove right here. You just want to push it in. It should just slide right in. You could put oil on it too, if you want to. Also, another thing to note, after you put that in, you see these here, these could come out. You want to put them in their slots just like that. It's 3 of them. This one here, that one there, and then the next one here. It's only 3 of them. You want to put them right in that slot. So after you put that snap ring in, you're going to put these keys in their slot. Then after that, you're going to put 4th synchro. Well, I have a new one. You're going to put 4th synchro on top of this. Then you're going to put 4th gear on top of that synchro. I'm going to put it together and show you guys. All right. Once you have the snap ring on right there, see it's a little banged up because I tried to hammer it down because I didn't have a snap ring pliers. This is a lot easier with a snap ring pliers. So now that that's on and the hub is on and 3rd gear and 3rd synchro is on, I took the keys out because while I was hammering, or at least trying to get the snap ring in, it keep coming out and I didn't want it to lose them. So I took them out and I placed it on the side. Now I got to put in the 4th synchro, which would be that, the old one and the new one, but basically just the new one going on. Then I'm going to put on 4th gear. And I'll show you how that look when I'm finished. After I put the keys back in here, the 3 keys, then I got to put the synchro on top of that. 4th synchro would go over and set it. You see like how 3rd synchro teeth is up, 4th synchro teeth is down. They both aim at this ball here, the key. Then you're gonna rest 4th gear on top of that. But before you rest 4th gear on top of that, I almost forgot. You wanna put this little spacer here back on. It's gonna go right over the snap ring. Put that spacer on. Matter of fact, let me put it on now. It's just rest right over the snap ring, just like that. Now you're gonna put 4th gear on. Before you do that, you want to make sure, okay, these two here, I had to take there's like some little ball right there. Those same two ball right there. They go in this hole here and then that hole here. Those two holes right there. So you want to put them on before you put on 4th gear and 5th gear. And this is how it look with 4th gear on. Focus. It doesn't want to focus. Okay, there it is. This is how it look with 4th gear on. Remember to oil up the inside of it now. I'm gonna put the little ball in. Then it's supposed to be a spacer, and then 5th gear. I'll show you guys that after I put the ball in. Okay, before putting in the ball bearing, this piece here have to go up and over it, like so. But you want to make sure while putting this piece on, that little hole there and this little notch right there, that, to make sure that's facing the bearing. The ball is going to go right in here. You want to make sure that's facing the ball. I'm going to put the ball in. You want to put this on first. Then we're going to hammer it on with a piece of wood and the hammer, because it wouldn't let you go any further than that. And like I say, you want to make sure this hole faces is facing the same hole. The notch is going to be right underneath this hole. It's going to be facing the ball. So you're going to hammer it down so far, and then you're going to put the ball in, and then you're going to hammer it the rest of the way down. I found a little easier method. It's still got to get tapped on. Whoop. Okay, that's 4th gear just rolled up. You want to make sure hold that down. You don't want that to roll up, because it could. The teats could, well, the keys could fall out. So I want to hold that down. But that little groove I was telling you guys about, where you put like this hole here, there is a groove underneath this hole. You want to put that groove. I don't know if you guys could see it. You want to put that groove. Let me see if I can focus. Okay, you still can't see it too clearly, but you want to put that groove with the spline right here where this hole is. There's a spline above it. You want to put that groove in there so it can line up and come right down. So you want to tap it on. You can tap it lightly with a hammer like I did, and it's going to come down. I'm going to put the ball in when it passed the splines. Then I'll put the ball in. I think after it passed the spline, it should be able to rotate. So if it do turn out a way, I could rotate it to the correct way. All right, there it is. I think I might have used the wrong one. I don't know if they're the same size, but there are 2 of them. There's the next one. There's this one. I'm gonna remove it and see if the other one makes it different. The magnet. Oh. So apparently I think they are a different size, because this one looked like it fit the top better. So I'm gonna put that one in here and show you guys. All right, after putting on the hub and the bearing, or the space in the bearing, you're gonna put these bearings goes on just like the other one, like 3rd gear bearing. Just put them on just like so. Make sure they're together, and then you just put 5th gear right above it, just like so. Let me show you. You want to make sure when you put 5th gear on, the teats faces 4th gear teats, and these here faces the synchro rings. So it doesn't go down on like that. It flips over like it's, hold on. It flips over like that. This is the old 5th gear, but you're gonna take it, lift it up, and you're gonna put it on just like that. It's gonna sit just like this. So you guys can see a little overall so far how we looking. So remember now that other bearing sits right in here. But first, I gotta put the hub on first, then the bearing. Then the bearing. All right, guys, this is how it look. So this is 5th synchro. I'm gonna put the next hub on. I want the hub to be aligned with this, so at least it'll look uniform. I don't know if that's the way they had it. I can't remember, to be honest. But, you know, just to be on the safe side, I'd rather everything just be aligned like so, you know. All right, I just got through oiling the hub. You want to put, this is the bottom side. You want to put this side face up. So I'm going to put the hub on just like that. And make sure, you know, these grooves right here line up with that groove there. So it goes in smoothly after fixing it on that. After this goes on, then you put the ball bearing in that, and then you put this here back on that. I'll show you guys all of that. All right, now that I got through hammering this, I'm going to put those keys in here. Just like how these keys have to go in here, these keys have to go in here. And then I'm gonna put 6th synchro, which is that, right on top of it, like how I did with 4th synchro. This is 3rd synchro down here, the silver one. The bronze looking one is 4th. This is 3rd, this is 4th. And this is the key. So I'm gonna put the key in here. Then I'm gonna put 6th gear, well no. I'm going to put the ball in first. Let me do that first. I'm gonna put the ball in, and then I'm gonna put that in. And then I will put the keys and the synchro, and I'll get back to you guys on that. All right, guys, I got the space in. It's here, right there. This right here. I got it in. What I had to do was hammer it so far down, and then I put an old gear or a socket. It should be that's a 34 that didn't fit. That it helped me to get it down a bit, but I feel like a 35 or a 36 would be the right size to go over this. That could fit right on top of this, and then it just hammer it down. Now I'm going to go, I just put the keys in. Now I'm going to go put 6th synchro ring in, and then I'm going to put the bearing around here, and then I'm going to rest 6th gear on top of it. But I'm going to put the bearing in first and the synchro ring so you guys can see how it look. This is how 6th synchro sits in, just like this. Just like how the rest of them are. This is 6th gear needle bearing. This is the code number in case you guys would want to order it. Also, it sit just like how 5th gear, I think it was 5th gear, just like how 5th gear one is. It sits right here. The 6th gear bearing here and there on each side. You know, remember to put oil on the gear. They sit in just like that. Now all you want to do is grab 6th gear and just rest it right on top of that. Just like that. And this is 6th gear. 3rd to the bottom, 4th, 5th, 6th. Now, the last thing to put on is your bearing and your snap ring, which sits right there. This is the bearing here. These are all of my old gears that I changed, 4th and 5th. The old synchros of 4th and 5th and all that stuff. That's the old bearing there. Hold on. This just goes to show you how bad whoever owned this car did the car. You know, I don't know why, or it's not a big deal right now. So it's just that bearing we gotta go on, and that would be, well, the bearing and the snap ring, and that would be everything. All right, guys, so what I forgot to tell you, before you put that bearing on, make sure put the slip sheath, the select sleeve back in. This right here have to go back in first because it's too big to go over 6th gear and it's too small to come over that bearing. Now with the other slip shift sleeve, sorry for my pronunciation, it could just, you know, go right above and over, you know. you want to make sure that this one up here, with its close to, with its select 5th and 6th, this little lip piece right here, I don't know if you guys can see it, is facing 6th gear. Underneath it have a flat surface like that, underneath here. But you want to make sure that flat surface comes up to 3rd and 4th, and this one here with the lip faces 6th, and this is the shift sleeve for 6th and 5th. Now you want to put the bearing on after you select it, after you then put this on, and now you want to put it on. Now you want to put the bearing on. That's the bearing. What I also supposed to show you guys, there are, like, if you look at it now, you'll see like there are some missing teeth, and it's only one single teeth by itself, and the rest have a few of them together. There are 3 of these. That's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. They sit over the keys. So to line it up properly, you just want to make sure that that piece is lined up with this here, where it could go over the key, that key right there. But this is the bottom shifter I'm showing you, the bottom sleeve. So when you put that on, you make sure that lines up to go over that key. It's dark out now, but when you putting this on, make sure you hit right in the center. I ended up using something that went past the center and I didn't notice, and I kind of damaged the bearing, right? Hopefully it's not damaged to the point where it can be used, but you want to have enough clearance to put the snap ring in right in between here. And that should be it for your input shaft. That should be it for your input shaft. Once you put the snap ring in here, that would be everything. The reason for me doing this video was, after getting the car and having a few mechanics check on it, you know, they dragged their feet. They had my transmission for 2 weeks and didn't, you know, as if they wasn't trying to fix it after I give them the part and everything. So I took it myself. I looked on YouTube, but there was one guy, he was replacing his bearing and his 6th gear and synchro rings and keys came off, but he was the only one who had anything as far as this hub here. Everything else I had to just look at. Now, some of you guys might have questioned, how did I take them off without a press? If you guys didn't know, I took these off without a press. There was a method where I saw a guy on YouTube, he turned the input shaft upside down, on like facing down that way, and he knocked it a few times on the ground, and surprisingly that worked. And how I got to try it was, I had to order a new input shaft because my old one was bad, so I just did it anyway to try, because I didn't mind, because I was gonna buy a new one anyway, and it worked, you know. And that's how I got mine out without pressing anything off. So that's my video. Hopefully it helps somebody that might want to try and do this themselves. Yeah, that's it. After you put the snap ring in, and that's about it.